I'm going to give an unpopular take right now, Pich. I'm sorry. It's been burning a little bit. And we touched on it last week when we're in studio and we talked about the Franz extension, and that's wonderful. And, Franz made the all Olympic second team, which I guess is a thing they do now. So congratulations on that. And I noticed, a lot of time when Twitter, some would put something out about Wemby or that would maybe slight Franz, especially in that France game where he kind of didn't really show up and had some rough patches there at the end. People were coming to his defense, which I respect. But I also let's offer a little bit of critical lens, right? I mean, Franz, 18.5 points per game, 5.8 boards, 2.5 assists, two steals. Tremendous. And he did all the things, Pish, that we know this man can do. He got to the hoop at times, finished with both hands. He was physical. He rebounded really well throughout the Olympics. And he's an underrated defender. He's a great defender. He doesn't get enough credit for that. But we just maxed out this man. And I'm over here thinking like, okay, yeah, he scored points, but I knew he could do that. A guy named Kawamura Yuki was the third leading scorer in the Olympics, so I'm not putting a whole lot of credence necessarily into the scoring numbers when you're playing teams like Japan along the way. But I don't know. I did watch in completion the Serbia game, which was the bronze medal game, and even though he ended with a decent amount of points, about 18 as well, I just feel like he was kind of an afterthought there. He did try to push the issue a little bit at the end, but there was too much floating. There was too much just hanging out in the quarter. I don't know if he was the top 5 best players in that, most impactful players in that game. And before you jump down my throat, I mean, you had Jokic, of course. Bogdan Bogdanovic played a stellar game. A guy named Vasily Micic, who I believe is in the league, he killed Germany. And I think Moritz had a more steady and impactful game and shot the ball better. So yeah, if you want to bump Franz up there, but for me, like, I want him taking control. I want to see that, especially after the Game 7 that we saw. And yeah, we gave him the max. So are we still feeling great on the max when the shooting woes from 3 continue at 20% from 3 in the Olympics? If you're going to max the guy, why did we have to do it then? Okay, people, you build, good rapport with him. But what happens with Jaylen Suggs right now? That hasn't gotten done. And Jaylen Suggs got to be looking at this whole situation like, shit, man, I can shoot the hell out of the ball. I'm an all-defensive team player. I want the max too. If you're going to give it to Franz Wagner, who can't shoot right now, and that's fair, why shouldn't I get it? My game is expanding like crazy. And then we're in a conundrum of you have 3 max guys. Yes, it's the fun max. It's the rookie max, so you don't really have to worry too much, but that's 75%, possibly 80% probably with Paulo being an all-NBA guy. That's of 3 players. So I don't know. I thought, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, Pish, but I just thought that the negotiations with Franz might go a little differently and we get him for a little bit under the max. And I am really, really concerned about his shooting. I'm extremely concerned about his shooting. In the playoffs next year, which we hope to be in, I mean, teams can just collapse on that. And that was our biggest problem. I know we added KCP, and Jalen's great with the shooting now, but what happened to Franz, man? What happened to Franz Wagner and his shooting? He was a 35% guy in his first couple of years. He's like falling off the face of a cliff. I'm worried, Pish. Can you talk me off the ledge, man?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why you worry yourself with such things. Obviously, his shooting does need to improve. It was better at one time. At some point, he kind of became more of a guy who wants to drive all the time. He's very good at getting to the basket, so I could see why you'd want to do that. But a lot of times when you're doing that, you're not thinking shoot first, right?
Right.
And if he's put in a catch and shoot situation, that's not really a strength of his game. It would be nice to see him be able to add that, but that's not really what he does. I'm okay with him getting this max because I feel like if he doesn't prove he's a max, by the time we get to the next one, the unfun max, as you would, I guess, say it, that's when he would take the discount to stay on as part of the team and keep things going and be able to make things affordable for everybody. Whereas right now we can afford it. Yeah. So it seems like a good thing to do, even as a goodwill statement, to say, look, we're signing your brother back. We're bringing him back. We got you back. We're giving you the max. Like, make that paper now. And if you have to take a cut later so that you can pay other guys to make a championship team, that's when you worry about it. That's when you get concerned about it. I mean, look, Jaylen Suggs, yeah. I mean, I think he should be in the conversation for the max, but he's played a lot less games. His
True.
development has been fantastic. Look, if you had to choose, gun to your head, you going with you want Franz or you want Suggs?
I want Suggs right now.
It could be a coin flip, but it's at least close, right?
Yeah.
So if you can make the excuse that Suggs hasn't played as many games and has been out with some injury troubles here and there, Franz has put in the work. He's been in most games he's been in the league so far. So that to me means something.
No, you're right.
This is a small margin of error, almost a topic that needs to be brought up in the offseason because there's no games to talk about. But if you could see him out there playing a little more, look, Olympic basketball is completely different than the NBA, right? Because Schrader runs things.
Yes.
I mean, he looks like an amazing
He made the
player.
first team, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Right. And rightfully so, because he's a completely different player there. And I like to compare him to I think like Markelle Fultz could do that if he was given the keys to a team
to
and
like
just
Latvia.
Run.
Just you're running.
But it's not, but it ain't that that's not the way our offense is set up. It's not what we're set up to do. We're not give the ball to this guy and let him create almost everything. It's like, it's a different type of offense. It's a different type of play. It's all different. So it's good to see your players play well, right? But there were some players playing well that like are in the league, like the Vasil, right?
Vasily
that like,
Micic, yeah.
We don't really know him as playing in the NBA. He does, but like, he's found his role and his niche is met. So it's hard to put a ton of stock into the good play there. Because I mean, look, Kevin Durant is like the all-time leading scorer in Team USA basketball history, but like, who cares? Is Kevin Durant one of the best like 5 players of all time? No.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably not even top 10.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, we know that with Evan Fournier. We know that with Evan
Right.
Fournier. He would go over there and be, killing it with France, and then I would fool myself every summer. This is going to be the year that he comes back and he's a borderline all-star for the Magic, and then it would be the same old thing. But all right, you've talked me off the ledge a little bit. We can't absorb the max contract now. We're showing faith in the guy. Maybe the next time is when it comes around. I hope that he just develops into a max player and the shooting comes around. What's your level of concern, ladies and gentlemen, with Franz Wagner's shooting and the three-point shooting in particular? But all the shooting has been down. I'm concerned. And are you crazy like me? Would you, if gun to your head, would you take Franz Wagner or Jaylen Suggs if you had to choose?